Today, we're going to talk about running. And the question is, how many times and for how long do you actually have to run to make a significant improvement? And what kind of adaptation can you have, and should you be training more? And that's what we're going to discuss today. I also obviously coach running. That's part of what I do because it's an easy thing to get into. But honestly, this actually you can take away for other cardio modalities as well. May that be elliptical, rowing, whatever you choose. That still will carry over to a large degree. So that's something that you might want to look into. But in case you're not running, or in case you cannot run because you have some sort of injury or you just hate it, which is completely understandable. My girlfriend is not the biggest fan. She does it because it's hard, but not because she loves it. So first of all, if you look at the research, you got to ask yourself, what improvements are we actually looking for? So if we're looking at improvements for the quality of life, meaning like longevity, health benefits, cardiovascular benefits, then we're looking at about 2 to 3 sessions, preferably 3 sessions per week, lasting anywhere from 20 to 60 minutes. And then over a course of 6 to 8 weeks, you will have some massive benefits from that training. You have some adaptations and improvements, which is fantastic. And after that, if you increase more, you have diminishing returns. Yeah, but it depends obviously on the training intensity, on the individual, and what your training history is. But the thing is, there's 2 to 3 training sessions per week, moderate intensity as well as some high intensity stuff. Significantly improves your aerobic capacity, your VO2 max, and your running performance in a recreational kind of setting, and as well as trained runners. The question is obviously, why should we not do more than 2 to 3 times a week? If like competitive runners run 6 times a week, up to 10 times a week. Man, hell, some of those people run like 120 fucking miles a week. And here we are as recreational runners, we're running anywhere between, let's say, 15 and 40 miles a week. Now, there are people who are higher up there, don't get me wrong, but the majority of people will be somewhere around that. Do we not see any further adaptation? And that we do, but for health benefits, you doing that 3 days a week, let's say do 2 days a week of like zone 2 training, and 1 day a week of high intensity interval training, that will give you the biggest bang for your buck. And that's what we're going for here. I'm not saying that you cannot run more. I'm not saying that running more does not have any benefits. It does. Your running economy gets better. You will have more benefits for health up to a degree, right? Like we've discussed this in another video before, like recreational runners do have running is actually beneficial for joints, but like from a certain point on, like competitive runners, elite runners, they have a higher incidence of osteoarthritis. So we got to take that into account. But yeah, higher mileage running like has a much higher running economy that you don't get from running less, and that's, or at least not to that degree, and that's how these elite runners can run much faster at a similar kind of effort, which that is phenomenal. But for the average person, it's just not that relevant. If you're somebody who is looking to be healthy and you want to strength train 2 or 3 times a week, and you do cardiovascular training 2 or 3 times a week, hell, that's 6 days, 4 to 6 days a week of training, 30 to 60 minutes each. That's a lot of time commitment, especially if you have a family, a career, and all that. Now, some of us do more, then you see bigger benefits to some degree, but you get the biggest bang for your buck, you get right around that 3 days a week range. Do these diminishing returns exist with elite runners? Absolutely, they do exist. However, they're edging out percentages, really tight percentages. So they're trying to make sure they get that all in. If you're trying to get the ideal amount of training in order for you to be healthy and fit, and you don't have so much time to commit to this, what you want to do is you run about 2 to 3 days a week, 20 to 60 minutes. One of those days you're going to do a HIIT workout, high intensity interval training, and The other two, you got like super easy conversational pace, zone 2 training. That pretty much rounds it up for us. So again, biggest bang for your buck, about 150 minutes per week of investment, 90 to 150 minutes. Optimum would be 150 to 300 minutes, so up to 6 hours. Everything above that, the additional gains are pretty small. I hope that helped today. Have a great day.